guys, it's Alex, better known as Google Tricks on the internet, and today, as you saw in the intro, I achieved 200k gamer score. Yeah! Woo! Yes, I know. Exciting stuff. But seriously, I understand gamer score is just a little prize for playing video games. To some people, it's pretty mundane as a collectible prize and near pointless to some. But I really got into it when I first got my Xbox One in 2014. Initially, I was kind of passive to the idea of, getting a ton of gamer score. I may have gotten like 30 to 50 in my first years of my Xbox and my experience with it. But over the course of like 4 years of owning my Xbox, I accumulated about my first 100k. Then, once I got to college, my first year of college, I said bye-bye to that Xbox, and it stood idle for about an entire year. Yeah, except for the few breaks I got to go home and grind. But once I actually got my privilege to play it when I could at college, that's when the grinding really started, baby, for that next 100k. And towards the start of coronavirus, really, as a timeline, it took me about, from then, so about a year I'd say, onwards to get to this next 100k, from about 120k to about 200. And I'm glad I made it. I'm still pushing forward to get more gamer score, to get that next 100k and onwards. But for today's video, I'm mainly just going to be focusing on the games that kind of got me from that 100k to 200k mark in the little time that I managed to get to it. And obviously every game I'm going to be showing is not a showstopper, so I'm kind of going to be scrolling through a lot of them and only highlighting the ones that I favored during that grind. I believe my acquisition of the 200k went a little bit something like this. Yes! 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 So regardless, I hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so here we are, looking at my collection of Xbox games. I'm going to be starting from the top and going down, and I'll point out some notable things. So I guess we'll start at the top, shall we? So here we have a few of the games that I kind of took to get to the 200k flatline, as it were. But here we have Modern Warfare, everyone. A good old game, in fact, that I've spent quite a number of hours in. Somewhere in the realm of, I'd say, 18 days. So just multiply that by 24 and you get a very high number. Here are the achievements I haven't gotten in this game. As you can see, they are rare and a lot of people haven't gotten them. To be fair, I think this counts Warzone players, so free-to-play players also are mixed in with that, but I feel like 900 is pretty decent for a Call of Duty game. Some of those are challenging and others not so much. So, fun game all around, even if it's not for the gamer score. I love and hate that game. I like playing with friends, but, can be a piece of garbage, but, is what it is. And here we have two little platformer games. Starlit Adventures is a game that I would call a mobile game, but it's on the Xbox, and it's not terrible. It's free, so I mean, there's that. I'd say 750 is roughly around the amount you'll probably be able to achieve if you don't put money into the game. But it was a nice, 5-hour game. Pretty good. Pretty easy achievements and fun stuff. Whipsy, obviously, if you've watched the channel for a bit, it's not exactly, my favorite game, but it gets the job done. I just have to try a little bit harder and I'll get there. Same with Arslan, a game that requires you to get a lot of perfection type of achievements, but that's not too bad. So, all in all, pretty good. I know I said I would be skipping a lot of these games, but I like talking about a few of these. Clicker Heroes is a idle game. I don't know if it'll show my time in the game, but it's definitely a lot of time. Obviously, it's an idle game, so yeah, it's a long stretch of a game, and it's pretty decent. Now moving into Gaijin Kiss or Kill. It's the first game of its kind, really. Made by a developer, made by one guy actually. I think another guy made music for the game, but mainly made by the son of a father that originally had this game and then turned it into something a little bit better. I streamed it on Twitch, and it was a pretty fun game, all in all. It definitely blew me away as far as how much fun I could have with it. It took me about like 4 hours, 5 hours, I'd say, to get all the achievements. Wasn't very pricey. I think it's even an Xbox exclusive, if you can believe that. So, if you want to give it a try, I think it's only on Xbox One. So, I mean, hey, there we go. But very good, fun game, very easy, 1,000. So now moving down to Refunked. Refunked is a very interesting game. As you'll see, there's quite a gap between when I got 2 of the achievements here. Yeah. About 4 months. 4 months-ish. Yeah, so you had to get this speedrun achievement, which isn't exactly very easy. You have to do a lot of learning. It's a parkour game. I believe it's on Switch. I believe it's on most platforms, so very fun. A very enjoyable game, even not for Gamerscore, just for speedrunners and, you know, parkours platformers alike. So, Refunked, pretty good in my book. Right beneath it, too. Forza Horizon 3. As you've seen, I've made a few videos on this game. You know, it's a Forza game. It's a driving RPG type of game. Very interesting in my eyes. It's not something I'd play a ton of throughout my life, even if I bought it on release, but it was very decent for Gamerscore. Forza, it's very fun in my opinion. Car collecting, even if I'm not a big car guy, you know, it's a good game. So yeah. Scrolling down here, you can see Solitaire. Now Solitaire, whew, I mean, not much to say on it other than it basically carried my summer job in essence. A lot of Solitaire was played during those days, and you'll see there's an achievement where you had to basically play every single day for a month. Because you had to do like, what, 5... Yeah, I believe you had to do 5 different challenges in a multitude of game modes per day, and they varied in difficulty. So that was fun and interesting. Yeah. Alright, now we meet our maker. Dark Souls 2, and just in general, the Dark Souls series, as we'll scroll down, you'll see a couple other Dark Souls that I have at 1,000. Dark Souls is such a great game series, in my opinion. Probably the most fun I've had in an RPG. Maybe. But yeah, it stands the test of time, ages pretty well. Not a whole lot to say other than I just love the game. If you haven't played a Dark Souls, I highly advise it, because even though there may be a giant skill gap off the get-go, you'll have a lot of fun. Even if you get slammed multiple times for multiple hours, it's fun. It's fun. And I highly recommend Dark Souls 2, as it is my favorite, which is a controversial opinion, but yeah. Hey, there's a good friend. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Good old Assassin's Creed Odyssey, everybody. This is a game that me and my dad played. Whenever I wasn't using the Xbox, he'd be playing a ton, and overall, yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey just had a ton of achievements, a ton of content. I would love to see how long it took me to beat this game. 3 days? 4 days? Something like that? That's inaccurate. That's inaccurate. The 7 days also counts as my dad's progression. So basically, if you divide that by 2. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if you haven't really played any of the newer Assassin's Creeds, I'd recommend them. They're a little bit different. They're like a looter shooter now, to some degree. They play a little more into RPG elements, but they're fun. I would recommend giving them a try. Hey, and now we have a couple other new friends here. Old friends, new friends, you know. Final Fantasy: The Zodiac Age. Good old game, very fun. Holy moly, I haven't played a Final Fantasy since 15, like 2 years, I believe. And this game was incredible. Final Fantasy 12 genuinely amazed me with how fun and dynamic the combat was to some degree. The party management was really enjoyable. The RNG was hell, but you know, is what it is. Took me about 70 hours, I'd say. Pretty fun game. I think it's on Switch and obviously on PlayStation. I'm sure it's on PC. But if you haven't picked up a Final Fantasy, I'd honestly say this is probably your best bet. But enjoyable game overall. And another game, another JRPG, even Code Vein. Well, sort of JRPG, more like a Souls-like even. This game, speaking of grinding, wasn't, you know, something I was expecting. If we look at this achievement down here, the good old Exalted Reputation achievement, took me a while. It took me a lot of a while, actually. I swear I have like 70... I think I have 60 hours in the game. And I'd say a majority of it went into farming for this achievement, where you basically have to kill the same enemy and reset your game multiple times until you get 400 drops of the same item, which I believe it had a 20% chance to drop. So yeah, that was bad. It was well worth it because I think Code Vein is genuinely a fun game. I know people bash it for being a wannabe Souls-like anime, but I liked it a lot. I don't know. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the combat to some degree. I like the AI co-op system it had. So overall, very fun. Good times. Hey, Thomas Was Alone. Thomas Was Alone was a surprise to me. It was a very cheap game that I bought. Platformer that just kind of blew me away with like the geometry of things. You basically play as a bunch of squares squares and rectangles throughout each level that progressively get different abilities, and those abilities kind of help you as well as pseudo helps like the characters themselves to progress. And it's a very interesting setup for like a platformer. I wouldn't even call it a platformer, but it was easy, but very like methodical. As you can see here, Dark Souls got 1,000. Original Dark Souls was the one that I couldn't cheese. I guess I can just talk about it. I'm sure Remaster's around here somewhere. So Remaster, you can dupe souls in, which inevitably banned my character from online, which I didn't really give a shish about. So I ended up soul duping and made Remaster basically the easiest thing in the world, which made going into the original Dark Souls to get basically the same achievements again a little bit interesting, because I had basically learned how to play the game 3 times, because you have to beat the game 3 times in order to get all the achievements, because you have to kill bosses multiple times. But then going into Dark Souls, I had to do that all over again, except at a reasonable skill level. So, you know, it taught me a lot about the game, and it really gave me an appreciation for original Dark Souls. I still like Dark Souls 2 more, obviously, but it was a great experience, honestly. Here's Gears 4. I mean, not much to say. I played a lot with my friend to get a lot of these achievements. A lot of these are obviously like DLC achievements, and this was a game free with gold. But we had a lot of fun playing this game co-op, and I do enjoy playing games co-op that also net achievements. It's pretty fun. You got good old Minecraft. Basically, they drop like 200 Gamerscore every Minecraft update. So I usually just hop in to grab that. I enjoy Minecraft. I probably put more hours than can even be documented into PC, Xbox. Well, not so much Xbox, mainly PC, because Minecraft on PC is just better. Yeah, pretty fun overall. Speaking of co-op games, here's Tom Clancy's Breakpoint. It's a pretty, well, no, it's not very good, actually, this game. It's fun if you play with a friend, and you're obviously not taking it very seriously. Obviously, a lot of the achievements are very accessible. -2, I believe, that were multiplayer. Don't even get me started on the multiplayer. Just play co-op with your friends in the open world, and you'll probably have more fun. It's a very easy game. Use a lot of player-created content, basically choose all the achievements. Not what you say there. I don't actually pay for the game to buy it, but I bought it for like $3. It's $6 now. Yeah, pretty useful game, I guess, just to scrum up. Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk, oh man. This is a game that was free with gold, and it blew me away in terms of how good a story game that really doesn't have a lot of gameplay elements other than just like memorization. It's hard to describe Coffee Talk without really just delving into it, but Coffee Talk is a very, very, very worthwhile game. I'd maybe say it's worth 10 bucks. I'd pay 10 bucks for this game. It only had like 2 hours. But you know, it has some replayability, and it's an overall very fun game. I mean, for a free game that I got, hell, it's great. You know, it's great. Batman Arkham Asylum, the remaster. This was a game that I picked up along with Arkham City and Arkham Knight for about, I'd say, 10 bucks to get that whole Arkham collection. These games are great. I've played City on PC and played this game for the first time on Xbox, and you know, they're good. I don't think they're really worth getting the 1,000 for, because you have to do some really annoying beat 'em up stuff, but on like super difficult hard mode, get your neck twisted type of stuff. Here's a throwback. So I've had Modern Warfare Remastered for a very long time, but I only recently during the summer picked it back up to get all the, well, I say all the achievements, all but one achievement, because all the achievements were, I'd say, pretty easy, and obviously they're all campaign related, so very much worth my time, I'd say. The only achievement I believe I did not get was the one to beat the high score, yeah, in FNJ. Yeah, like you have to be really good. I'm just not good at memorization, and I'm just very stupid in general, so yeah. You know, very fun, on veteran especially. Lego Indiana Jones, and I believe it's down here somewhere. I mean, I guess we can just talk on Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm blind. Oh, Lego Indiana Jones, dude. So this is on the original Xbox 360, and it is probably my favorite Lego game. I got 100% 3 times in one day on Lego Indiana Jones. So this was quite the nostalgia trip for me. Especially the 1,000's a little bit annoying because you basically have to replay the story mode twice, which is kind of obnoxious, but you know, is what it is. There you go. Never got a Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, this is another easy Lego game. Lego games are 2 parts, sometimes they get a little frustrating, but generally they're pretty easy and very fun, in my opinion, very nostalgic. So yeah, that's what I like to say. Alea. So this game has a glitched achievement, or at least one that basically is impossible to get unless you're lucky. The game's only about like 4 hours, but it's a painful 4 hours. I swear when I played on my console's like on fire, because this game is unoptimized and has a ton of particle effects. This game sucks. Don't buy this game. That's what I say about That game sucks. Hey, the Surge 2. Surge 2, and in general, just the Surge series is a Souls-like, a very fun Souls-like, I'd say. It's very underrated. People kind of hate on it because it feels clunky, but I find it's very fun. Maybe a little bit too fast-paced for how the hitboxes work in the game, but 2 is much more challenging, I'd say. There was one boss in particular that was very rage-inducing to me, but I came to learn how to basically overcome that boss, and it felt so good when I beat it. I had that same euphoria in the Surge, where there was a boss that basically you have to fight for, what, like 8 minutes straight, and he can basically one-shot you. Well, sort of one-shot you if you're unlucky. It's a decent game series. I'd give it a shot if you have a hankering for the Souls-like and whatnot, so yeah. Oh, Catherine, 2017! Yeah, so this is a game in the works, basically. Here's the Batman Telltale game. This is the second of the installments. Scrolling down, Valkyria Chronicles 4, a JRPG game that is very strategic, tactical, a turn-based battlefield game, I suppose. It took me by surprise at how much I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, it was kind of my refresher, I guess, from Modern Warfare when I was trying to get Damascus camo in that game. Oh man, what a pain. Hello there, Dead Rising 2. Where is Dead Rising 1? I don't know. Dead Rising 1. So, the Dead Rising series, everybody. Oh my god, Dead Rising is fun, but hell. Dead Rising 1 and 2 are so difficult, in my opinion, as a new player. But very rewarding and very fun once you get into it. Buy them. They are so much fun. Doom is a very fun game. please play Doom 2016. That's just my PSA for this instance. Please play Doom 2016. Here's another quick indie game that I like a lot too. Grow Up. Was free for Xbox Gold, and this is a Ubisoft title that blew me out of the water. I did not believe that Grow Up could be such a fun game. Even if you don't go for the collectibles like I did, well, I would say go for the collectibles because you get like a wing glider and stuff like that for unlocking a bunch of the collectibles. But oh my god, getting the collectibles in this game was such a treat to me. It was probably the most fun I've had in a 1000. It only took me about, I think it said like 5 or 6 hours. I didn't actually check the real time, but 5 or 6 hours I think it took me, which I didn't even really optimize very well. I just had a lot of fun with Grow Up because I realized that it was like a very easy, mellow type of game to get 1000 in. So definitely pick this game up. Alright, Warriors Orochi 4. This game is, oof, do I say it's my favorite JRPG? I mean, yeah, I do. It's a Dynasty Warrior type of game, and holy cow, is this game amazing. It is so much fun. It has basically the qualities of its predecessor, Warriors Orochi 3, but given new life, basically, in the magic system. The magic system is what made this game so much fun for me. If you haven't tried the Warriors Orochi games, I'd highly recommend 3 and or 4, because they are just so much fun, and I guarantee you'll have fun even if you're not really into, you know, Japanese games or Dynasty Warrior games or stuff like that. Very fun, in my opinion. So I think that'll wrap things up for my kind of brief talking point about all the games I've played in the recent memory. And yeah, if you have any games suggest to me to play that might be interesting for Gamerscore or something, or just fun in general, because I was talking a lot about the fun factor, I'd say, of a lot of these games I picked out. Obviously, some of these aren't very fun, but some are just good fun in general. And with that said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this content, a like is appreciated, and subscribe for more, I guess, future Gamerscore stuff that I might highlight, and other stuff, I guess. With that said, I'll catch you later. I hope you enjoyed, and take care. Bye-bye.